Whenever somebody writes something down about history, they're writing it down for a purpose. There's some kind of central concept that's significant. There's something that happened that is something we need to learn from, or something that changed people, changed our planet, changed the way we think about things. These are central concepts, and there's a few of them we're going to talk about so that whenever you're reading history, whatever it is, whatever class, whatever time, it's going to help you focus on what was significant about it, what's important about it. The first concept that's interesting to most people are people, because people are just interested in other people. And when we read history, there's going to be a lot of different kinds of people that you read about. There's going to be politicians, and you can decide whether or not that's interesting. Soldiers, who sometimes become politicians. There are explorers. There are inventors. English is stupid. I think that's supposed to be an E anyway. Also, editing needs to be done carefully. There are people who've been exploited. Slaves and women and children and any number of groups of people throughout history. Pioneers, not just people who explored and settled land, but pioneers in technology and pioneers in other places. So one of the central concepts whenever you're reading anything about history that you should be looking for are the people. Who was involved? And obviously some of those people that I mentioned who were inventors, well, they invented something. So those inventions become a central concept in history. Here's some examples of some. There's lots of them. These are just the ones that we're going to be coming up on in U.S. history in the next few months. But any invention, what was significant about it? Not only who invented it, but why did they invent it, and what happened afterwards? What was the significance of their invention? Inventions are huge concepts in history. And ideas and philosophies, you might think that these are not the most interesting things, but if we didn't have the idea or the philosophy of freedom, where would we be? The representation issue, when people can vote for things that we're hoping will have some say in and will make a difference for us. Things like justice and so many different ideas and philosophies, way too many to list here. They're big central concepts in history. When one of these ideas is first thought up and accepted by a group of people, it makes a big difference in the world. So when you're reading history, look for some of those ideas and philosophies. Yes, a person had that idea and that philosophy, and other people allowed it or enacted it or began to follow it. There are events. Events are huge concepts in history that you're going to be reading about. There's battles, there's wars, there's discoveries, so many different things. Yes, people are always involved in those events, and sometimes there's inventions being used, and maybe those events happen because of a philosophy. There might be a revolution. Look for events. Look for things that have happened, because those that they're writing about are significant. They're going to be a central concept. And then changes. Some of the reading I've done has talked about how history is just change after change after change, and if it's a significant change, it becomes history. Revolts, new technologies. Here we go again with the inventions, the ideas, the philosophies, the people who thought of them. So maybe changes kind of relates to some of these other central concepts. But what was the change? If you're reading about something, what changed? What happened afterwards because of it? So you don't even have to focus on who the person was, or what they invented, or what happened, or what they were thinking about, but focus on what it was like before and what it was like afterwards. That's going to be your last central concept in history.